Alrighty guys, so it's another, well, it's actually 1st of December out in the shop, and I'm trying to decide what I want to work on. A bunch of stuff I could do. I could try and get the commercial 10 running. I haven't had it running this year as far as I remember. I did charge the battery up a while ago, but who knows if it stayed up. I have the 44L project, which may or may not get continued whenever when I feel like it. It mainly just needs a lot of finish, fixing the oil leaks and stuff like that. That's what's going on with it. Nothing else in here except for the 58 could use a top end overhaul again. Nothing else in here needs anything real major. I figured out the oil leak on the 64. I guess I could do that, but wasn't really too into that stuff. I don't have all the parts for the Onan NB ignition, or I would bring that transmission over and take the engine off and either get the engine running. And I have a 400 frame and front axle, so I could build another yellow Onan NB. I even have I believe I have some Onan tins laying up here yet for him. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see them on the shelf there. And some 400 parts floating around. There's always, I got parts galore. You guys would be surprised. Lots of stuff you guys have never seen. And my plans are to finish that mower deck for the 812 here at some point. Once I locate another spindle, which I haven't, since it's been snowing and so cold. I haven't really been in that kind of mood. You guys know how that goes. Got this 56. I can't remember if this is just a L or Li. I have a nut and bolt. Yeah, it has a nut and bolt there, so it's a 56 Li. And like I mentioned, I have this project. I have a 10 horsepower Kohler that if I ever got it rebuilt could go on this. And I have been swiping parts off of this, like a shifter handle that went on the 5200 and the throttle cable. Really, it has all the electricals there and all the linkage and stuff is there, so even has chains on the tires, so it'd be a good winter machine. So this is a project may happen one day. I have to find somebody who I can trust to grind cranks locally, which I just never have done. Back here we have, I guess if you guys want to hold on a second, I'll move the cardboard. Okay, back here in the depths of Steve's storage, this is a 57 Li that the number was stamped into the replacement fan shroud on. I had this thing running. As far as I remember, the exhaust manifold was broke on it. I was mowing with it, and I went through the field, it shut off, and I never got it to start again. I've wondered if it's the mag, the points, the valves, I don't know. I just kind of got frustrated and walked away from it. This right here is a parts, it's probably like a, let me look at it again, probably like a mid-60s L, may have been, I think it was an Li trans. If I didn't have all the mower decks propped up, I'd lean this plywood back and show you guys. But that one there is a parts machine. There's no cylinder on it. It does have mag shafts, wheels on it, a gas tank. Actually, I need a gas tank for on the 44, so I could steal a gas tank out of one of these couple here. And here, this is a project I really should get back to and finish up. The 50L project. I got this thing running. I switched the engine block because it was cracked, and then I found out the transmission has a crack in it. There is a transmission casting over there in that corner in the back for this. It's even orange, so it would match. This tractor was dealer updated. And at some point it still has the old air cleaner, but it has the spin-on oil filter. It's one of the 2 tractors I have with a Fairbanks Morse mag. And here we have a 53L, and it's missing the forward and reverse planetary out of it. I got this tractor to spin over. It was locked up. Come with these 3 L's here. All came with the Great Gravely Haul 2012. The 53, the 50, and this parts machine all came from there. This 53, it's kind of botched up, but it's not super bad. Like the handlebar support brackets on the inside, has one orange handlebar, forward and reverse planetary. Obviously I think I was hunting for oil lines for the 44 last time I had the hood open on this. Maybe. Don't remember, but I would kind of like to get back on some L projects. I kind of have got away from those in recent years for no real particular reason other than trying to fix up some riders, and plus there's countless projects in the tank garages. I could bring that 812 trans over with the motor on that went through a fire, and I took all that parts off for 82. See if I get that motor to run. I have a blown up another blown up motor, a 12 horsepower one over in the other shed that has a starter and everything on it. So I could work on that, see if I can get it to run. And I have 4 frames for 800s, 1 400 frame, and then as far as 800 transmissions, I have three of those. One with a 12 horsepower Kohler, one with a B43 Onan. I have a spare CCKA. I have a Robin engine, and plus I have a blown up Kohler that it could be rebuilt. Don't get me wrong, it's still a rebuildable block, but as far as I know, it just needed a rod and a piston in it. I think there's aluminum transfer on a crank. I acquire these parts you never know where, from work, stuff people never pick up or what. But electric start cart could use welded and painted. Plus I did end up breaking a square piece off that bolt a little bit, so I'm gonna end up having to weld that and that together at some point. And I think what may happen there is I'll move that pillow block back one support, perhaps, and then maybe I'll get another pillow block on the 1/2 inch part of it. But the extra flex is kind of good. I don't know, just gotta get back on that. If I get back into trying to start L's, I'll be working on that. And I have this Dog Eater snowblower, which I have not used in years. I have not used this since probably 2012. I bet you it's sat in the same place. I built this bench over top of it, I believe it or not, and I've never moved it. All the remnants of the 40-inch deck project, and a good battery and terminals, and doing tires the other night. So that's something that may happen. We may see some weird side projects come in. I've been wanting. I have this little. It's like a Model A or a Model T, like mini replica. I've had for years. I kind of want to get that going again. Here's a picture of it now, if I can remember. So yeah, that would be pretty neat to get that going again. I've had that since I was a little kid. So anyhow, guys, that's just kind of what I'm up to here today. I still never moved the front axles from taking the tires off. Up until today, it had been extremely cold, and I'm just I'm letting the shop come up the temperature now. So if I get to working on something, I'll videotape it. If not, catch you guys next weekend. Later. Camera battery's about dead already too. Only got 2 bars. Alright, so over here in this tank garage, there's a, what the heck is it? an 8162T frame, transmission, and engine. That was the B43 I got years ago. Made a video of, had it running. And then set it over here. It has a bad PTO in the transmission. And there's another transmission in front of it that has a good PTO, but the clutch hub is cracked. So I was kind of gearing up to do some 800 transmission work a couple years ago, and then again never got to it. CCKA motor I put together. I bought it in pieces, and I put it back together and got it running. Again, did a video of that a long time ago. And it actually has a muffler guard and everything on it. There's a P-Series Onan back there. It's actually come off a wheel horse. Something was in the junk pile at work I kept along with that Robin. And there's that blown up Kohler. I don't remember. You guys can see the pieces of the connecting rod there. Must be shivering a little bit. All the parts I was gathering up to build a 800 or 8000. Be fun, entertaining video. There's a steering gear. Good bit of 400 parts I have. The head and stuff for that engine. There's stuff strewn all through here. I have to go through it. It'd be nice to get the 74, both these 74s running again. They probably would both run with minimal work. And then, again, I need to get on finding somebody to grind cranks. And the 68 430 would not take me long to put together. I could do that in an afternoon once I got the crank back from the machine shop. And got grills and hitches and frames, and there's that 10 horsepower motor off that 67 C10A. Plus I got, there's an 810 hood, there's a 812 hood perhaps, something like that. There's old 424s, more Kohler parts, but them Kohler parts are actually off this 10 horsepower. So, 2 frames, 400 frame. I have a front axle for a 400 too. So I could minimum make a roller out of it, and then I have that worn out steering box off that 812, which would make it somewhat steerable, unless I upgraded to rack and pinion. Could be an entertaining project at some point. So, just wandering around trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. Do I just sell a bunch of stuff? Somebody who has time and money to do it? Or do I get a second job so I got enough money to fix all my damn projects I got? Yeah, I don't know. Tough decision. So, later, guys. Oh, camera, come on. Alrighty, guys. This is actually a redo of a part I did before, and you'll notice quite a few differences. I worked on my door. It's got this black trim here to seal it up. Moved my bricks the whole way out to the end. Cleaned them a little bit. You can tell they're actually bricks. Moved the cardboard and a piece of plywood, but anyhow. Over here, the whole way back in the corner there, and how well you guys can see it, but there's actually a transmission for the 1950L, which is the bright orange one there. And I have a 56Li. A good portion of it is missing the cylinder head, piston, that sort of stuff, electric start pulley. I do have one air cleaner hose there, which I forgot I had. It's good to know. 2 push cultivators from the front. The parts, whatever the heck this thing is, I never did figure out if it was a commercial 10 or a 5000 series painted red. But without a doubt, I'm sure it has keyed hubs, so that limits it to the like the C10, C12, 500 series. The 5000 series had splined axles, and the hubs and the axles are different on it. And they didn't have the cast for where the magneto would have went. So here we have the 57Li, that the numbers are cast into the tank, and I don't know if you guys can see them there, but I don't know if you guys can read them or not, but they are there. This machine did run I shut off in a plume of smoke in the field, and I never got it to run since. I'm kind of thinking it might be points issues with that, but haven't got back around to it. And this here is another parts machine, no serial number, painted all orange. So that kind of leads me to think it's like say about a 1963. I don't remember what the flanges look like. And I swear this has a bolt somewhere on it. Yes, it does. So it's an LI trans. And I have swiped the cylinder and stuff off this. Before I took the cylinder, this might have been a plausible tractor to get running, but because it didn't have a serial number, it kind of got kiboshed. And here is probably the project, probably these two I should get into. The 50L, I actually did videos on this thing quite a few years ago. It was probably like 2012, end of 2012, and that was probably spring of 2013. I got this thing running and then realized the transmission was cracked, and the transmission is over there, which I showed you guys. And then we have the 1953L. This was one of three I had. I actually sold. I sold a 57Li and a 53L I sold as a package deal. This was one of two I kept along with Big Blue. Or Big Green, whatever I call it. It's an aqua color over there. But anyhow, this is the rusty 53L. It does turn over. Or it did. Yep, still turns. It has a magneto on it, carb. Probably the only thing it would really need would be oil lines. And the forward and reverse planetary is missing out of this. And that wouldn't be too hard. It's not like I don't have spare forward and reverse planetaries sitting all around or anything. So I might pull that thing out and try and get it running at some point. It also needs a pull start pulley, which I think I bought an extra one of. I think. I could be wrong. Maybe we'll try and get that running. That'll be a good little winter project. See what's going on. But I think for now, I'm going to pull this out. And then I think I'm going to use most of the internals and stuff out of this, but I'm not sure. Somewhere I have a box of parts for the other transmission. And I know they're inside. I have the axles, the differential, and everything. And I probably have 90% of the internal parts still. Actually, I think I sold the forward and reverse planetary out of it, because I seen one at work explode. But that'd be a good project, and I show you guys setting or shimming the axles and the bearing play and all that. Because I have never really tore these transmissions apart and put two into one sort of deals. I just never had the reason to. So, but that'll make good YouTube videos, and be a lot of videos to come. More or less, I can just unbolt the motor, take the mag coupler off, and pull the high-low planetary out once I get the diff set and everything in the other one, and just bolt it on there. And like I said, decide what I'm going to do axle-wise and stuff like that, and just swap everything over. And this machine ran. I'm 100% certain the points are going to need cleaned again, because welcome to Gravely's. That's what you do, clean points. And I know the fuel line and fuel tank is going to need some attention. I don't know if you guys can see it, but a bunch of white crap in there. So, without further ado, I'm going to stop yakking, and I'll catch you guys when I get to it. Later. I put all my cardboard back. Oh, big piece of plywood's missing. Steve was also busy in here. Put that up. No, he just needs plywood for the rest of it. Alright, later guys.